Okay, so it's been pretty hot today. It's for like 32, 33 all day today. Um, it's like 6 in the afternoon right now. Need to sort all this out of here and just kind of organize what I'm going to keep, what I want to separate in different buckets and so on. I want to strip these computers. I have 3 computers. And I got 3 more here. I'll strip those. Separate a few boards. You see what boards are good. What boards I could like some boards are processed for the IC chips, but there's there's gold fingers still and different things on there that have to come off still. So, but whatever boards are totally stripped, I'm gonna put them in a separate container. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with them yet, because a lot of those boards still have other components on there. They still have copper and then different type of components. So we'll see what I'm gonna do. I haven't decided yet, but ideal goal is to clean this area up completely and then start organizing things. How's it going?
Good.
Just want to show you all my appliances here. These are all my appliances. This thing's pretty full too. My red van's full. I'm gonna run a load tomorrow in my big truck. So I have to store all stuff like this. Brass doorknobs, cast, brass, whatever. There's all different mixtures of stuff here. This is brass here. I'm gonna separate all this stuff here. So all this has to go. That's full, like I said. We'll open this van here. Haven't went anywhere for 3 days and this van is so full. See, it's full of electric lawnmowers and aluminum and microwaves, all sorts of different things. So ideally, any electronics, separate that. I want to maybe strip microwaves today and a few things. I might, the problem is you're not getting much copper out of them. They're mostly aluminum. They pay 10 cents for the transformers only. So that's a gain of 3.5 cents. So, you're not really gaining that much, right? So, you get maybe a couple ounces of wire. And then you're getting, a couple motors might have copper in there, but they're still pretty slim. The newer motors are not as good as the older motors. So I still have an old school microwave here that's should be copper. It's a wood grain cabinet, so it's an older one. So it's just the thing is, where do you start, right? But I got lots of cords, and there's just so much different materials that got to be separated. Like this one here, it's electric. It's all plastic, so I'm just gonna sell it the way it is. No point stripping it, and the thing's really worth nothing. So I might as well just leave the motor in and then scrap it the way it is. The motor's good. It's probably got a half a pound of copper in there, but if I start taking this thing now apart, I'm doing a bunch of plastic, versus if I strip it the way it is, or leave it to scrap it the way it is. There's still stuff, metals and different things there, scrap yard can use, versus pure garbage for me, right? Well, yeah, and I had lots of wire too. Now I remember, yeah, I had lots of wire from one house. So there's a lot of things in here. See how far I get. Hopefully, it's still hot right now. That's the problem. It's still like plus 30 something, right? So the weather's just way too hot. But anyways, the way it goes, it's kind of what it is, right? I was hoping to get rain or something, like showery weather or cold and cloudy weather for a couple days. Nope, it's just been hotter and hotter. We talked about heavy rain day, but it rained a little bit at night, and the next day was bone dry and super hot. So even the rain that we're getting just doesn't do nothing. It just the ground is so dry, it's all absorbing in there. So it seems like a day of rain, heavy rain, isn't really nothing. You need about a week's of rain to catch up to our how dry our weather and how the soil conditions are. Anyways, I'm going to work on this, but first of all, I want to get rid of this organized here. I'm charging some batteries here. I need to drill out some buckets here so I don't collect the water. I can store them, and then maybe later on I can process things later. Like even this fan here, I could take the mortar off. It's actually got an okay looking copper mortar on it. Pretty easy to process. And even though I take it apart, there's still scrap metal here. It's not plastic. If this was plastic, I wouldn't process it, but since it's metal, I'll take the mortar off and then scrap the rest. There's no point, like if it's all plastic, you know, just scrap it the way it is. But if you take the mortar off it, then you're dealing with plastic. So at least with the mortar on it and, you know, the miscellaneous things, you know, they can shred it apart, right? Okay, let's continue here. So what I'm doing is separating the wire off the cords, off the adapters. I'm just gonna strip in a little bit of aluminum. Oh, that's a tight one there. Whatever I can strip, that's easy. These are pretty tight. It's not good. End up stripping as much as I can on this thing. And I can scrap it right away. It came off. These things are pads or something. It's something to get these smaller ones out. Huh. Well, oh, perfect. That's all I need. Figure what these rubber things are. They're just rubber pads. How's it going? You going? Time to come home. Okay, I'll see you later. Something here. A spacer or something. Even though it's plastic, they still might pick, right? So pop them off anyways. Nice cast there. Okay, so that's quick. Start saving all these little pieces, right? This is aluminum too, but sometimes the socket's hard to get out just because everything's so rusty. You know, you get a grinder after and grind it out if you have to. Well, it's loose, kind of loose. There it is. Not bad. Cast aluminum. See, little things like that, and that's heavy. If I sold the way it was, you know, you're getting really nothing for it. Now I'm getting like 40 cents a pound for it versus 15 cents. Makes a difference. Pull this motor off. Capacitor here. Plastic. Piece of cast aluminum here too. Little carburetor or something. The hard part is, you know, some things just, there's hidden valves and stuff in there. At least don't try cutting this already. There's valves and stuff in there. And the valves, hard to, you know, you have to cut it all apart to get everything out. See, some things you might just have to sell dirty, or you have to cut it with a grinder. That piece got a little brass over there. You're dealing with a butterfly valve, I guess, the carburetor. So I mean, that one's like an iffy. The brake cylinder. Just don't know how much you can take it apart. If there's any steel in these things, don't know. I've never took one of these apart. There's like a horseshoe kind of cotter pin in here. Trying to find a pointy screwdriver, but who knows, could be lost in my truck somewhere. You don't see it. But anyways, if you can get the horseshoe thing out, cotter pin. Not sure what's involved there. Yeah, I had that point thing would work so perfectly. Okay, well, I think we take this apart without the right tools. It basically just keeps turning. With that sharp point, I can kind of pry one side up, bend it a bit. See how all you do is pop that cylinder, come out, it's like a compressor. It's like a compressed cylinder. As you pump it, pushes the pressure to your brake lines. So I think if I pop this horseshoe cotter pin out, that whole cylinder comes out, it should be clean. As far as I can tell. Looks pretty clean. Let's see if I can find another tool or something. Okay, knocked off the cotter pin. Looks like it's got brake fluid or something in it. Not really much anyways, a little bit in there, but I don't know what else is in here that would come out. Is that just a rubber seal in there, or is it going to be plastic, or is it going to... I wonder if it just pops out if I hammer it out. Okay. Okay, looks like a clean cylinder. That's what I can see. I don't see no magnetics anywhere that they can tell, so I think we had a clean job there. See, that's the little 2 cylinders in there. So all I had to do is with a screwdriver, I bent that horseshoe cotter pin out, and it just kind of derailed a little bit. Then I pried it off, and then it kind of popped up a bit. And the other one, like I say, I wasn't sure how it came out, and you saw it pounded it out. Okay, there it is. It's heavy. I would say about close to a pound. Okay, so that's good. That's done. Just gotta organize that. I want to put the mortars with mortars. Put them in a 5-gallon pail, like all these little mortars. But I mean, they're so easy to strip. I can just, take off the steel, throw it into a mother bin, just like that, right? Anyways, okay, house wire, standard house wire. What I suggest, what people do to make it easier, just get yourself a little cutter or something. You want to be able to get to the ground. As long as you're able to get to that ground, all you have to do, and find exactly where the ground is. Easier if I had a knife, but anyways. Okay, so where ideally is you get a pair of pliers. You're doing is trying to pull this ground, this wire is a bit through here, like this. See how it just goes? Once it starts, it's easy. You're pulling the ground wire through. What it's doing is it's actually cutting this wire. So now you have a clean ground. Automatically, you have one wire that's clean. And now, since that broke, the outer jacket goes with it. See that? I'm gonna strip this later on my wire machine, but I just wanted to show you. Makes life a little easier. But it helps if you have a knife or something handy. But, I'm lazy, so I'll do it the hard way. But anyways, get yourself a pair of pliers. Once it starts, see how easy it goes. And all you're doing is you're ripping it. This one is a bit of a gimped wire. You get some newer wire, it just goes so easy. But see how you're doing it? You just force it like that. So now automatically you have one strip conductor, and then you have 2 conductors that are bare. So I mean, there are two conductors here that you can strip, right? So it's actually stripping 2 wires. It seems like stripping the outer case and getting your ground when you do that. Anyways, that's one way of doing that. Little tricks of the trade, kind of help. But yeah, it's still kind of hanging in here. It's a little bit cooler now, so it makes it so much nicer. It's just so hot. Ryobi, it's just the really old one, I think. This is just crap stuff. Trying to get whatever copper I have sitting here, separating it. It's not making money sitting there, but some things, the prices are so low, it doesn't really matter. Copper right now, I would just sit on it if you can. I mean, I hate how it takes up my garage and everything, but if the prices, like I say, are down quite a bit. Can't believe how tight these things are. This is cast aluminum, so I'm working with aluminum. I'm trying to This one will come off. There's also a trick to this if it doesn't come off. What I was looking for. Okay. You can kind of bang it. Bang that nut. Sometimes the corrosion will break free. Huh. Instantly, see that? I couldn't even, all the strength I had, it wouldn't do it. But you have to know your metals. You know, this is aluminum. Some will be steel. If you don't know, use a magnet, right? But so anyways, let's see if these ones come off easy. This is fused because you got two different metals. You got probably steel and you got aluminum, so it's oxidizing. Here it is. It tends to oxidize and corrode, right? If it was aluminum to aluminum, well, probably could corrode, but I don't want to do that. Okay. One more here. See, it works like a charm. That's what you got to do. Little tricks of the trade, right? And if you pry too hard, you know, you'll strip it. Then you have to get a sawzall or a grinder and cut it apart. Yeah, they're pretty tight, these ones actually. Okay. So anyways, there's little things like that you can do. Try to enhance the best value you can. I'm trying to stick my brass together, get it all together. This one's cast, also aluminum, like a pot metal, but you can sell it together. Prices are identical right now, no difference. These, I always cut these off now. There's another one here. Okay, let me get all this wire together. This could be pot metal, could be also be brass. I have to check it. Probably brass, I would think, but you have steel, a couple of steel screws here. See all this type of wire here that I want to just, you know, the bigger 14 gauge, I want to strip it myself. I mean, 14 gauge is borderline, but you know, it still makes a little bit of a difference. See how this one's so much easier? The other one was just weird. This one was like nothing. Just go through my wire machine and bang, it's done. It's actually quite a bit here. It's another plug here, see? And these dryers are non-stop. They're everywhere. Dryer plugs and cables and... I'm just going to strip mine from now on. I find that if I take it apart, take the outer insulation first, and put it through my wire machine, works perfectly. But if I throw this in my wire machine the way it is, it wrecks the inner wire up, and then it derails, and it's a nightmare. See, like this stuff here, I'm just gonna shred it. I mean, there's a little bit of copper in there, but by the time to go through it, it's just not worth it. Anyways, I can deal with that later. I'm just trying to separate the wires whatever I can. We'll take a wire load back to, depends how much wire I have, I guess. If I get like around 75 again, like last time, that's good. Not bad for lower grade wire. They tend to pay higher when the pile's low. When they got a really big pile, they pay less. Because I looked at the pile, and when they paid me 75, but there was nothing there. So that was my bonus, I guess. Even a speaker wire like this. I mean, there's so much wire here. This one might be able to strip too, right? Looks like it's pretty thick wire. It's a heavier gauge, so I might end up stripping those. Let's see what the thickness is. Probably like 50-60%. Pretty thick insulation, but problem is, you know, this will strip actually quite easy, and there's so much of it, right? I'll just throw like 10-foot lengths in there and just strip it all. Probably strip that one. There's a cat. Another cat tries to fight him. It keeps coming around. Yeah, it might be a female cat, maybe hard to say. Okay, here's a light bulb here, or a socket anyways. Wonder how I'm going to strip this. I think it's glass in the bottom here. Let's leave it for now. All I do is I'll smash with a hammer a little bit, and the glass will break and the thing will fall apart. Okay. So you just grab your magnet. It doesn't stick. Pot metal. It's like a die-cast pot metal or cast aluminum. So I'm trying to consolidate things here because I just got too many mixed up items here. And eventually I might throw the stripping wire in this one here. This will have to use in the fall time sometime. I think prices are starting to climb. I heard some rumors that prices are going to start climbing now. Hopefully that's true. Usually summertime the prices suck anyways, but you just never know with the market. Next mission is to clean my garage out. It's way too messy. This is all wire I want to strip. So like thicker gauge. here. Okay. Okay, well, keep moving at this here. Okay, I got a car stereo here. You can see how they totally stuck epoxy around the IC. It's not hard, it's like silicone only, but the silicone, the IC chip. Well, I got that one off. It's one IC chip. I don't know why they silicone it like that. So IC chip wouldn't get damp, I guess, or there's two ICs there. A flat pack here, but there's another one here too. I don't know if that would actually burn out the IC chip from the heat. Keeping the heat in the chip like that over time, maybe. Hard to say. Okay. One more IC chip here actually too. The car stereo's good. Good for IC chips. Hopefully they got gold in them, right? Gold bonding wires. Hard to say, but so this one I'm just going to shred it the way it is, basically. Pull these little wire harnesses off. We can get off. Not really much on here elsewhere. It's the back of the chip. I guess there's a couple more chips here also. Yeah, it's another IC chip, very tiny. Yeah, two more. Very, very tiny. Crystal oscillator here. Pop that off and some here. Another one. And these could be tantalums possibly. I have to get a magnifying glass to see, they're so small. So I'd say that one's ready to be scrapped. This one here, I don't know if the right screwdriver. Okay, got it, perfect. They're hex bits. Hex star, whatever they call them, I'm not sure, but I think a smaller size or something. Yeah, don't have that size. Well, I have it, but I have to dig for it. That's all I want, just a couple components. IC chips mainly. You can just try to pry it out. There. Okay. This one's a little bit nicer actually. Got a little more stuff in it. Well, I think that's just the DVD board. Well, it's got a cast aluminum side, but we have that size. This one's going. Some don't fit, some fit, so it's just a bit strange. But like, you know, this is taking a lot of space up, you know. I'm only taking off maybe 3 or 4 IC chips, the rest of them going to shred, so no point in holding on to it, right? Different size again. And some car stereos got good cast aluminum sides. They're worth stripping. You just have to look at it, right? Some have a whole heatsink that fits on the back. It's only 4 screws and it's clean. Comes off clean. Not really much on the side here. The CD spot. I was hoping to get this cast aluminum off. It's in there pretty good. Some turn, some don't turn. I don't know why that is. Anyways, you see I cleaned up quite a bit of things. All the modems I stripped that I had earlier. Just small little tinkering around, stripping. Nothing too big, too major. There it is. Closed. Let's scrap it the way it is, I guess. Just can't seem to get the pieces off properly. Roxy, what the hell are you doing? Get her feet all cut. Hey, how's it going? Good. Hey, quiet. Neighbor walking his dog, so the dog freaks out. Ridiculous. Trying to see if there's an IC chip here or something. Something that's worth taking off or not. Some screws didn't come off at all. This might have been a star, that one. Try this one. Yeah, it's got the main board here. Actually, it's a decent board. A couple nice IC chips there. Okay, I ventured in finding it because I probably could have left it. For a DVD board, it's like probably just like having a little DVD drive. A few little IC chips, see that? 2 actually, not too bad. Okay. This one basically a tuner box here. It's in the tuner section. This isn't too impressive. Got a big IC chip actually there. Well, a lot of hidden stuff in this thing. Unexpected stuff actually. Got a big IC chip there. So I'm gonna have to take that off for sure. Transformer. Transformer in a bucket. So another small one here. It's a micro scrap, huh? Okay, I gotta pull this IC off. Roxy. IC there. Some other IC here. 12 legs on it. Pull that off too. The flat pack here, small one. There's still the debate on even stripping these. Or selling it for shred like this. I still think there's more value from the copper from the board. See, look, gold plating here. See that? Gold plating on those terminals. So I think there's a little more value here still. Because this doesn't weigh nothing, maybe like a quarter pound. So it's worth what, maybe a penny, 1 or 2 pennies. So what's, you know. And there is copper on the board, right? There's still components here. I just feel like I should just keep them for now until I really decide. Take the main oscillators off, IC chips, main things that I think that is value, right? For now, and then later on, if I depopulate this board and grind this up, put it on a shaker table, like I'll have copper from the board. I don't know how much copper it will be, but it might be like 10 cents of copper, maybe. Who knows? 15 cents. Don't really know how thick this plating, how thick the copper itself is, but it's double-sided copper. So I don't know. But anyways, interesting. Let's throw it aside for now. Okay, well, I keep plucking away here. So that's my shred. Those 2 are going to be shred. I'm separating the little transformers because once they don't pay nothing for these things. Well, they want to pay 10 cents a pound, but a little bit hard to take apart some. Like I can hammer it apart, no problem. That's not a problem, but I was hoping I could pry them open in a way where they just fall apart, but someone watched one guy on YouTube. He just popped them open, and they were coming open pretty easy. But like the one, if it's heavy, you know the transformer is good. If it's super light, don't shred. See, I'm probably doing this 100% wrong, but anyways, I just want to show you this being fairly heavy. A little bit of weight here. Okay, I'm going to cut these off for now. Okay. A little bit of plastic. And then here, these should be able to pop out somehow. I don't have the right cutters here, but okay, that's one. This is brass. Okay, so you have 2 brass posts. Throw your brass buckets. Here's your transformer. You know, it's not really that bad. It's a good sized transformer. So it's your choice. Do you want to strip it? You know, they only pay 10 cents a pound. Not very much. I think it's worth more than 10 cents a pound, but anyways, I'm just gonna strip them all apart like this. Some will strip very easy. Some like the wafers. Some you can chisel them through completely, and you get solid copper in there. These will have copper. They won't be so bad. But the other ones, the smaller ones, they look like they just have tape on there. You have to see this one here. And the copper's here. See how the copper windings? But some have, you know, bits of insulated copper with wire, and they're really bad. Not really worth stripping, but I think these ones are okay. Roxy, go the other way. Hey, Roxy, go this way. Out. Hey, shh. I'm gonna run over her. Cut her feet or something. So like I say, that's a heavy one. That's a nice heavy one here too. See if I can pop this open for a second. But I watched a guy, he just went through here where the plug side is, and he just went bang, bang, back and forth, and seemed to open pretty good. But every time I try, it doesn't seem to be working too good. Okay. A little bit tougher, but no, so out anyways. Okay, this one comes out completely. A little bit of plastic. So then you have a little circuit board, a little bit of wire. This little circuit board, I don't see nothing really on it. That I can tell, it looks good. But anyways, this is out there for now. Here's the brass plugs built right in there. There's 1, 2. See the brass, see that? And like I say, I think the brass, you don't put a magnet on there because sometimes it could cheat, right? It's a heavy little transformer, see that? So I would just, you know, just keep stripping them, I guess. Guy must have the right tool or something, because he just cracked them open like walnuts. There it is. Low grade wire again, little piece. Circuit board you can pry off. Plugs. This one actually broke. But you know, use the pliers, it cuts deeper. There it is, he took it out properly. There it is. Another transformer. So I'm thinking if you take them out of the plastic regardless, some places will pay up to 22 cents for transformers. So I'm not sure if they pay for that size, but most likely these are copper. I don't think I've seen any aluminum ones small like this. They pay 22 cents, so you double your money just to crack them open, right? Then you get a piece of brass, so that would be advisable to do too. But if they're really light, like these things, like, let's see what's in here. Like, it feels like nothing, like empty plastic. Let's see what's in it exactly. Roxy. Huh. Like I said, there's really nothing in it. Biggest thing is the circuit board. We got the brass here. See what's involved taking those out. Anyways, okay. So transformer's really tiny, to be honest. See that? But it's still a transformer. That it's like nothing. Size of a US dime or Canadian dime. We have a circuit board here. Another transformer, even tinier. These are off like, it must be like cell phone chargers. Really, not worth nothing. Okay, anyways, up to you guys how you want to do it, right? If I get the bolts out this way. I have a clean cast aluminum here. It's pretty heavy actually. Snap that off maybe. Almost got it. This one's in there pretty good. It's in there really good. So I'll probably just have to just slightly knock it off. There it is. There, clean. See that? I'd say probably close to half a pound probably. It's actually fairly heavy, surprisingly. It's pretty thick. Okay, well, I'll keep moving on here. Just got so much material here, but if you don't clean it, you're not going to get better money, right? So, you gotta do what you have to do. Okay.